What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So we definitely have a lot of information, guys, definitely to discuss in this video. So we'll definitely take a look at that. But we definitely have some severe thunderstorms beginning tonight, lasting through tomorrow. We also have heavy rain continuing to inundate the western United States. And we have snow ongoing in the Rockies, with more on the way as well, and into other locations. We'll definitely take a look at that for sure, guys. It's definitely going to be a very, very interesting weather video, so definitely make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, smash that like button as well, and definitely share this information out there. Definitely want to spread this far and wide. Definitely want to make sure that this information gets out there. Definitely appreciate you guys joining me for sure. I definitely want to show you some interesting video here. So it's definitely pretty crazy. Definitely is terrible to see flooding like this, guys, but let's take a look at this. So this is in Fresno, California. So you can definitely see the major flooding that has occurred in that area. You can see those houses inundated with water, unfortunately. Definitely our thoughts and prayers go with the victims of the flooding like this, guys. It's definitely very, very hard to see for sure. But yeah, it's getting crazy out there for sure, and unfortunately it's not over yet. So let me show you guys another video here. This video is pretty astonishing. You can definitely see the craziness of this for sure. But take a look at the floodwaters coming down the hills here. It's definitely pretty crazy. You can see how fast that rushing water is coming down as well. And as the video pans over, you can see how fast it's moving. It's definitely very, very interesting. It's not good for the communities that live downstream of this. So this is actually east of Fresno here. So definitely you can see just the power and volume of that water coming down. Definitely not a good situation. And unfortunately, more rain is on the way. So we'll definitely take a look at that, guys. As I stated, some more rainfall is on the way for the western United States. And we will definitely delve into some of the current radar, as well as some of the models and precipitation values that are going to be appearing here. So without further ado, let's definitely take a look at that. It's definitely pretty crazy, guys, just to see the amount of rainfall that has fallen over the area. Let me get radar mega popped up here so we can get everything going here. Like I said, guys, definitely appreciate you guys joining me. It's definitely a very, very interesting weather discussion today. But it's definitely going to be, unfortunately, pretty sombering as we see some of the flooding, as well as some of the severe weather that's going to impact the southern United States here, into the deep south and up through the upper south as well, possibly even to the Appalachian Mountains. So we'll definitely take a look at that. And with all the snowfall coming as well, we'll definitely get that going. But definitely, let's take a look at Radar Omega here, just to show you what we have going on. Let's enable the radar data here so we can get a look at what's happening. So basically we're going to go to the MRMS data here, and we are going to switch this from the reflectivity. We're going to switch this to the winter weather precipitation so we can see what type of precipitation is falling. You can see a plethora of rainfall still over central and northern California here, even up into Oregon as well. And a bit of energy heading up to the north towards Seattle as well, through Astoria, Portland, Salem. So definitely we're going to be expecting some flooding here to the north here into Washington and Oregon, as well as we have seen through the California area. Definitely not a good sign here, for sure. But you can see that snowfall developing once again through the Sierra Nevadas and the higher terrain here. Even over here, we definitely have a lot of snowfall coming in. Just to the east of Denver. You guys can definitely see how strong those bands are on radar. So that's definitely another image of energy transfer coming over the mountains here, just to show you how much moisture is actually making it over. Will transition to the south and pick up moisture as we head on throughout the night. Where we do have the potential for severe thunderstorms as well as tornadoes and small hail tonight. So we'll definitely take a look at that. And you can see the rain developing here over West Virginia and the Appalachian Mountains here, even into up near Erie as well, where we're getting a little bit of snow developing. And then as you can see, this big piece of energy to the north here. So this is definitely getting very, very intense. So this is up near Quebec and Ontario. So we're definitely getting a lot of snow here developing. We'll definitely take a look at all the totals here first. But guys, I want to show you something here. So let's turn off this radar data. I do want to show you the excessive rainfall outlook that has been issued for today. So we'll definitely take a look at that. So let's scroll down here, guys, on the side. This is hydrologic outlooks. We'll go to day 1 first. And you can definitely see the green and yellow showing up. The green being a marginal risk of flooding, and the yellow here, guys, being the slight risk. So we'll definitely take a look at this data here. Let's pull this up. Let's move this to the side. So a slight risk of excessive rainfall over portions of Northern California exists all the way down through San Francisco. So let's take a look at this, guys. So the focus remains on Northern California, particularly the coastal mountains, for another 2 to 4 inches of rain, with locally higher amounts. The next in a long series of atmospheric rivers is currently moving into the state. Hourly rainfall totals of around ½ an inch per hour are falling on completely saturated soils. So not good. Snow levels are rising between 7,000 to 8,500 feet. So all but the highest peaks of the Sierras are expected to see the precipitation today and tonight fall as mostly rain. You can definitely see some of these values here, the IVT values here. So this takes a look at the actual water vapor amounts in the atmosphere between 500 and 750 kilograms per meter per second on a scale of 2,500 to 1,500, classifying the current round as a moderate strength atmospheric river. Alone, this atmospheric river is fairly common. It's the fact that the atmospheric river is impacting the same areas that have been getting hit by previous atmospheric rivers every other day for the past 2 weeks that have led to aggravated impacts. As you can see, those videos I showed you guys earlier, just a major flooding near the Fresno, California area. It's definitely not good to see. And then tonight, expect the plume of heaviest rain to shift northward and orient more parallel to the coast as the Oregon and Washington coast begin to pick up more significant rainfall associated with this particular atmospheric river. This will give California from about the Bay Area south a much needed break starting later today. So that's definitely good news. Unfortunately, the break will only last about 24 to 36 hours until the same front pushes into California coast on Friday. So we're going to have another shift down to the south. So definitely not a good sign here. But you can definitely see how major this event is. It definitely covers a very, very big swath of area. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on this. And let's turn this off here. So let's turn the hydrologic outlook on, or off, I should say, and go back to the MRMS data just to show you guys. Let's loop this a little bit. But you can see this moisture continuing to pour onto the shore here and move inland. You can see some heavier pockets of rain here. This is getting ready to cross I-5 here near Red Bluff and Chico. So definitely better look out for a lot of flooding in these areas. Even down here, there's some heavier bands up to the north of Clear Lake starting to develop. And these will eventually cross over I-5 here into Colusa and Live Oak and Yuba City as well. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that for sure. You can definitely see some rain as well appearing up here near Astoria, Portland, Salem, Aberdeen. And you can see this massive band coming in, very, very heavy rainfall heading for Interstate 101 here to the north of Moclips. So we'll definitely be on the lookout for that. Definitely here in Forks, we can definitely expect that big band of precipitation to be pushing onshore very, very soon. So definitely a lot of rain coming in, definitely some flooding expected here on 101 just to the south of Forks or even in Forks. And this will eventually head towards Victoria here. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that for sure. Just to show you guys, let's actually go back to the winter weather. I do apologize. I was showing the regular reflectivity, but let's take a look at this. You can definitely see the snowfall propagating here in northeastern Colorado. So this to the east of Denver, but you can definitely see these heavier bands setting up here. This is along I-70 here near Limon and Hugo. Eventually going to settle down through Burlington. So definitely have to look out for that. This is to the west of Ray, Colorado, down near up near Fort Morgan and Sterling. So definitely some heavy snow definitely falling through the area. This is actually impacting Nebraska as well. So this is southwestern Nebraska near North Platte, down here near Julesburg, Imperial, all the way through Alliance here. So definitely a pretty broad area as well. And this actually extends all the way to near Omaha So you can definitely see this big band developing here for sure. We do have some rain showers developing into Kansas here. And we also have some rain developing in Oklahoma City towards Tulsa. Right now, nothing to write home about in terms of the rainfall, but nevertheless, definitely be able to look out for that, because this area will be to the east of this will be getting impacted by some severe weather later on tonight. We also have some moderate to heavy rain developing here in West Virginia. So this is along I-79 here, just to the south of Clarksburg near Weston. So definitely impacting the area here near Glenville, Burnsville, down through Flatwoods as well. And this actually extends all the way through Webster Springs, all the way down towards Marlinton, Huntersville, and Hillsboro. So definitely be expecting the wet commute. Definitely have your umbrella ready. We do have some rain here in the Pittsburgh area, the World Weather Authority studio, impacted by some rain earlier today. Nothing crazy, but nevertheless, definitely be careful out there. Definitely leave some distance between you and the cars in front of you in case they stop. You could definitely easily slide into the vehicle in front of you, especially with wet conditions for sure. You can definitely see a lot of snow here in the Great Lakes here. So this is definitely situated over Lake Huron, where we have some of the heavier bands here. So this is to the east of Alpena, impacting this area as well. Down to the south, east and east of Rogers City. And this is here, up through here, through Espanola here. And all the way down, guys, you can definitely see how strongly some of these bands are propagating over the lake. So this is eventually going to make its way south into Michigan here. Right over here, definitely into Michigan, and then even into Toronto. So we're definitely going to have to watch out for that. Rochester, New York, getting some mixed precipitation at the moment. All this activity looks to be to the north and to the east of Detroit. So it looks like Detroit conditions currently are pretty favorable at the moment. But if we take a look at, let's go look at the severe weather event for later on tonight. So it's definitely an interesting situation. We definitely have a lot of information to cover in terms of weather for sure within this briefing here. So let's zoom in on the United States one more time here. Let's go to the severe weather outlooks. Let's take a look at today's severe weather. You can definitely see that marginal areas of the darker green extending from to the north of Little Rock all the way through Evansville here. If we click on this and take a look at the actual discussion here, and we'll move this off to the side a little bit. So there is a marginal risk of severe weather across northern Arkansas into the Ozarks and eastward to the lower Ohio Valley. So basically this is isolated, strong, marginally severe thunderstorms are possible later on tonight and early Thursday morning from northern Arkansas into parts of the mid-Mississippi and lower Ohio valleys. Aside from a nudge northward of the risk area across southeastern Missouri, no changes to the outlook appear necessary. So we'll definitely take a look at what's happening with the other outlook, the previous discussion. So surface cyclogenesis occurring tonight from the Ozarks to the lower Ohio Valley in tandem with a northward expanding warm moist sector. So we're definitely going to have to watch out for that. Definitely increasing dew points in the upper 50s and the lower 60s will become established late tonight as far north as the mid-south and western Kentucky vicinity. So this is definitely going to provide the fuel necessary for thunderstorms to develop. The warm sector will be capped until late tonight with the moistening occurring beneath a plume of steepening mid-level lapse rates. So we're definitely going to have to watch out for damaging winds, possibly even the chance for tornadoes tonight. And definitely some small hail, definitely not out of the question. But let's take a look at the actual tornado risk. It's definitely pretty interesting. So we had a 2% tornado risk in California the other day, and we did have a few tornado warnings that spawned from that. So let's definitely take a look at tonight's into tomorrow's tornado risk. Could definitely see it's in a smaller area. Where this basically goes through Hopkinsville, Madisonville, Paducah, Sikeston, Union City, Murray, Paris, Kennett, and Blytheville. So this includes extreme portions of northeastern Arkansas, extreme portions of southeastern Missouri, into Kentucky here. So this is eastern Kentucky or western Kentucky, and then into northwestern Tennessee. There's definitely that chance for tornadoes. So it's basically a 2%. So it's not very, very high in terms of tornadoes, but definitely tornadoes could possibly spawn tonight, especially given the thermodynamics and dynamics of the atmosphere. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at some of the model data as well that we can uncover from the actual storm systems here. So let's take a look at the 3 kilometer NAM, and let's get rid of that severe thunderstorm outlook here for a couple minutes. All right, so if we zoom out here, you can definitely see a lot of rainfall, definitely still off the coast here. But let's take a look at a little bit forward here as this loads. So this is the latest models. And let's zoom up a little bit that we can see some of that precipitation coming ashore. You can see, guys, later on tonight, so this is about 11 p.m. tonight, we definitely have some rain still impacting the area. You can definitely see it's probably some snow falling here in the Sierra Nevadas, at least in the higher altitudes here. Eureka, a little bit of rain tonight around 11 p.m. It definitely looks like Sacramento, San Francisco, and portions to the south definitely getting that break, as I mentioned earlier. You can see Astoria, Salem, and even Seattle. You can see this rain heading your way. So this is definitely not good. Definitely a lot of precipitation heading in. So this is actually through Thursday all the way through 7 a.m. You can see these massive bands coming in, especially to the west of Seattle here near Astoria. And then you can see this frontal system coming in once again to Southern California. So definitely not good. Well, Northern California, I should say, but it'll eventually make its way into Southern California with this bigger band coming through. It definitely looks like a good break between 24 and 36 hours. Unfortunately, it does look like that rain does come back ashore around 4 p.m. on Friday, so we're definitely going to have to take a look at that. Definitely some heavy rain definitely showing up here for sure. We could definitely take a look at the precipitation totals as well. So this is precipitation through Friday at 4 p.m. So let's take a look at the precipitation values here. We'll let this model load up just a little bit here. So that way we can get the data going. Yeah, you can definitely see some of these totals definitely showing up here very, very strongly. But you guys can see between 3 and 5 inches of rainfall definitely falling across the area, up to about 10 to the south of Eureka. You could definitely see some of these more larger totals here coming up into Oregon. So 5 inches up through Coos Bay here. We're looking at less than a half an inch. Eugene getting the same, less than a half an inch. But then you can see up here to near Astoria here, we could see an inch, a half an inch to an inch. But then to the west of Seattle is definitely where we're going to have problems. So this is the south. This is to the southwest of Forks, where we can receive up to 2.5 inches. So definitely be on the lookout for some flooding for sure in these areas. We'll definitely have to keep an eye out on that. Let's go back to the actual composite reflectivity. You can see some of these heavier bands of rain and snow definitely propagating through the area tonight through. So this is around 10 p.m. tonight. Let's actually go back to 8 p.m. Actually, we'll go back a little bit further than that. Let me see here. Actually transition this to a precipitation type so that way we can get a handle on where the snow is actually going to fall in this area. Yeah, you can definitely see that snow falling here tonight, that heavy snow through 5 p.m. You can see this actually makes its way down through Kansas here. So some heavy snow just to the south of 70 here near Hayes, heading into Great Bend down through Dodge City. So we're definitely going to be on the lookout for that. And then the heavy snow axis actually shifts over to the east a little bit near Hutchinson, to the north of Wichita, McPherson, Salina as well, Abilene. We do have this ice developing here near Topeka and Osage City. So definitely can create some very, very messy travel conditions. And you can see 2 a.m., you can see those storms definitely developing here into central and southern Missouri here, down through northern Arkansas. And as we step this forward a little bit, you guys can definitely see some of those cells here on the back end of this, especially here in the Boot Heel of Missouri, so near to the west of Sickiston and to the northeast of Polar Bluff. Definitely be on the lookout for that across I-55 here. Definitely possible storms here. Even in Jonesboro, we could definitely see some activity Newport as well, over towards Blytheville, even Dyersburg as well. Just to the northwest of Jackson could definitely get on the activity. You can see this heavy rain shield here coming into Illinois. So you can definitely see how this propagates through. But then you can definitely see on the backside of the system, Springfield, Illinois getting in on the action, with the snow at least, and then Fayetteville as well. You can see this rain makes its way into Pittsburgh here. You can definitely see how strong this is. There could be a rumble of thunder or two in the area. It's definitely interesting to see some of this come through. It looks like a few rounds of rain, and then unfortunately that does transition to snow relatively quickly on Friday through 4 a.m. all the way through. It looks like it remains snow all the way through, it looks like Saturday morning here. So this is 1 a.m. It definitely still looks like the snow propagating through the area. Some of the heavier bands showing up as well towards the east, towards the mountainous terrain. But this extends all the way down through eastern Kentucky, even into portions of northwestern, I should say, Virginia here. So definitely we'll be on the lookout for that. This actually extends through Tennessee, into the mountainous terrain, and even into northern Alabama and into northern Georgia as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. We can take a look at some of the snowfall totals as well, that's going to fall from this system. So this would be all the way through Saturday, but we can definitely take a look at that just to give you guys an idea of what's actually going to occur there, at least in your neck of the woods. You can definitely see the Sierra Nevadas and Northern California getting the brunt of the snow here. So we're definitely talking about pretty extreme values here. So let's actually take a look at some of these values. Let's see here. Let's actually step this forward all the way. That way we can get a good handle on this. But you guys can see almost 3 feet or over 3 feet of snow in some locations, even up to as much as 60 or 70 inches in some locations. So definitely not good for travel here, but definitely good for the actual drought situation. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that and into the higher terrain here of Oregon. So this is near to the north of Chiloquin here. Definitely looking at about 91 inches of snowfall. So definitely in the higher terrain, definitely seeming to get all of that heavy snow. You can definitely see here through Colorado tonight. So this is to the northeast of Denver. We're looking at a good consensus of about 3 to 5 inches of snow. Over here into Nebraska, we'll zoom in on this area. So this is the southeast of Scottsbluff. We're looking at about a good 6 to 8 inches as well. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Could definitely be a very, very interesting situation. Here in Kansas as well. So this is to the west of Hayes, right along I-70 here. A good 6 to 8, possibly even 5 to 9 inches of snow here as well. So definitely not good. Definitely can cause very, very hazardous travel conditions. And as we head over here towards I-35 to the south of Emporia, definitely could receive up to 11 inches of snowfall. El Dorado looks to get about 2.5 inches of snow. The main bullseye, though, guys, is definitely going to be here in Missouri. Right along between 65 and I-44 here. So this is near St. Robert, where snowfall totals could eclipse 3 feet of snow. St. Robert's looking at about 22 inches, 23 inches. Just to the south, a little over 2 feet. But you can definitely see some of these values showing up over 3 feet, so 37 inches of snowfall here. Even towards Lowry here, 9.5 inches of snow. Warsaw as well. Receiving about 11.2 inches, and even over here into Nevada and El Dorado, receiving about 10 inches. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Over here in Springfield, we're definitely looking about 4 inches of snow. So definitely pretty strong here. So definitely keep our eye on that as we continue forward. Let's take a look at some of these snow totals here in the where the World Weather Authority studio is. So we're looking at about 3.5 inches. And hello, Hopper. Thank you for the ASMR. But yeah, we're definitely looking at about 3.5, possibly 4 inches of snow here in the Pittsburgh area. And as we head into the mountainous terrain here, we're looking over a foot of snow. So this would be to the south east of Uniontown here. So possibly up to 15 inches of snow over here near Somerset as well, about 15 inches. Even Johnstown coming in about almost a foot, about 11 inches of snowfall here. And then even up here towards Cleveland as well. We're looking at over a foot of snow here. In the city of Cleveland itself, definitely about 10 inches of snow. And over to the west of Cleveland, we're looking at a good 6 to 8 inches of snow as well. So definitely a pretty interesting system for sure. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on this. This actually extends all the way down into Kentucky as well, where much of Kentucky could actually get a little bit over an inch of snow, whereas the higher terrain we'll probably see between 5 and 10 inches of snowfall here. Even Nashville, Tennessee, picking up a little over a half an inch of snow. And into the higher terrain here, we're definitely looking at some pretty significant snowfall totals here. So about 2 feet of snow here in the higher terrain. Even into portions of Alabama, getting a little over an inch, possibly 1 to 2 inches of snow here. The snow actually reaches to the northeast of Birmingham here. So about 1.7 inches here on I-59. So definitely not good. This could definitely cripple this area. Definitely not used to snow down here in these parts for sure. Even northern Georgia. So to the east of Dalton here, we're looking at about 20 inches of snowfall. So definitely be on the lookout for that. So definitely not a good situation in terms of snowfall here. We'll definitely keep you guys informed for sure. Let me guys show you. So we definitely are expecting another severe weather event the day after. So we're definitely looking at tomorrow here. But guys, scenes like this can definitely be more prevalent as we head into tomorrow, especially with the slight risk and possible enhanced risk issues. So it's definitely not a good situation. So definitely thunderstorms are expected. A few tornadoes could actually occur tonight as well. So definitely keep that in mind in the Ozarks here. So we definitely have to be on the lookout for that. But let's head back into Radar Omega. And let me show you guys the actual severe thunderstorm risk tonight. Actually, tomorrow, I should say. We already looked at tonight. So let's take a look at tomorrow. So let's go to day 2 here. Let's turn off the model data so we don't get confused here. So we'll go back to single site radar data. We'll turn the radar stations off so that way these little dots aren't in the way here. But here we go, guys. Definitely you can see the broad area of thunderstorms. So we can expect severe thunderstorms all the way up through Kentucky, even into portions of southern Indiana and southern Illinois as well. Even into portions of southern West Virginia here, definitely looking at possible thunderstorms. And this does extend down into New Orleans, so definitely be on the lookout for severe weather there as well. But the main bullseye is going to be here between Alabama, Georgia, into South Carolina and portions of southern Tennessee as well, with that slight risk. So there is a slight risk of thunderstorms from the Ohio Valley southward across the Mid-South and parts of the Southeast. So isolated to scattered severe thunderstorms appear possible Thursday across portions of the Tennessee and Ohio valleys and the Southeast. Damaging winds should be the main threat, but a brief tornado too may also be possible, so we definitely have to watch out for that for sure. This is all due to a strengthening upper level low, which is forecast to move eastward across the eastern half of the United States Thursday. By the end of a period, a highly amplified flow field aloft will prevail over the United States, with a Pacific trough approaching the west coast, a ridge across the Intermountain West and Canadian Rockies, and a trough over the east. So definitely be on the lookout for that. It sort of looks like a negative NAO phase. But at the surface, a low initially forecast to reside near the confluence of the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys will deepen steadily as it shifts northeastward, reaching the Pennsylvania-New York vicinity late Thursday. South of the low, a trailing cold front will cross the Mid-South and Central Gulf Coast states through the day, reaching the Appalachians during the evening and the overnight hours. The front will continue making steady eastward progress, likely reaching the Atlantic coast near the end of the day on Thursday. So let's take a look at the Ohio and Tennessee valleys here into the southeast. So showers and scattered thunderstorms should be ongoing at the start of the period, ahead of the advancing cold front from the middle of the Mississippi to lower Ohio Valley southward into the central Gulf Coast states, while instability should remain limited overall due to the return of an incompletely modified Gulf boundary layer and substantial cloud cover. Storms should nonetheless increase gradually in coverage throughout the day as a subtle increase in the warm sector Cape occurs So CAPE is convective available potential energy. So it's basically how much energy the atmosphere has at its disposal to create severe weather. Given antecedent stability and a low-level capping inversion, ascent near the front will likely be required to eliminate the inversion and permit storm development, which suggests largely linear storm mode, still with the deep layer flow veering modestly and speed increasing substantially with height. Organized updrafts along with locally rotating elements within the line are expected. Damaging winds will likely be the primary risk, likely peaking through the afternoon and then very gradually diminishing during the evening and overnight hours, in part due to a less favorable thermodynamic environment, guys. So yeah, we could definitely see definitely some severe weather. This is definitely going to be the bigger day. Tonight we're definitely expecting a little bit of severe weather. So definitely have to look out on that through Arkansas, Tennessee as well, even into northern Mississippi tonight. But then you can see this energy shifts off to the east, eventually focusing over the Alabama, Georgia, southern Tennessee, and portions of southwestern North Carolina and northwestern South Carolina here as well. So definitely keep an eye out on that. We could definitely look at some of the actual radar data from this. It is going to be a little bit pixelated, unfortunately, due to... actually, it might not be. We might be able to get some out of the NAM here. So let's take a look at that. Let's go to models first. Let's go to regional. And we'll go to the North American model. We'll go to the 12-kilometer NAM here. So let's actually turn off the severe weather here, so that way we can get a good focus on the model data. And it looks like the latest model data has loaded, so let's take a look at that. We'll actually go into Thursday. Let's see here. Let's turn that snowfall off. As we head into Thursday, you can definitely see that line of storms. Definitely looks pretty strong here, at least on composite radar here, through Birmingham, Huntsville, up through Knoxville as well, even Nashville getting in on the action. And eventually this moves over into Atlanta with a little bit of energy on the backside of this as well. So we're definitely going to have to watch out possibly for some tornado development here in southern Tennessee and the Alabama border here. So this is around 7 p.m. Thursday. This will be near Chattanooga, Huntsville as well. The main portion of the energy will be near Athens, Atlanta, crossing I-85 here, heading across I-20. This extends all the way down through the Gulf Coast here, but let's step this back a little bit. You can see that line of storms comes through the New Orleans area around 2 p.m. on Thursday, so we're definitely going to have to watch that area as well. So the bulk of the activity definitely looks between 2 p.m. Lasting through 10 p.m., so eventually making it to the Atlantic coast here. Rumbles of thunder could definitely be possible here in North Carolina, Virginia as well, up through Washington, D.C. around this time. And like I said, that backside energy is definitely going to be one to watch as well. So definitely keep an eye out on that as well. It definitely looks like on Friday, we're going to have a little bit of severe weather down to the south here in Florida, as these prefrontal confluence bands come ashore early in the morning here. So this definitely looks to be around 10 a.m. So definitely between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. 10 a.m. looking to be the most likely for severe weather. So this would be include the Tampa area, Lakeland, St. Petersburg, over through Kissimmee, Orlando as well, eventually heading towards Melbourne and Palm Bay. Let's actually turn on Friday's outlook to see if the severe weather could definitely take place. And yeah, it definitely looks like there is severe weather definitely possible here. It is a general thunderstorm risk, so isolated thunderstorms may occur across portions of Florida Peninsula and coastal northern California Friday. Severe thunderstorms are not expected. However, I do anticipate we are going to have the veering of the surface winds in the 850 millibar low-level jet. So contrary to what the SPC says, I do think there will be a marginal risk introduced here from Tampa, Orlando, up through Daytona Beach, and through Palm Bay as well. So I definitely believe that severe thunderstorms are definitely going to be embedded within this line. How intense they're going to be, unfortunately, that is yet to be known at this time. But it's definitely an interesting setup here. especially with all the snow on the backside. We're going to have to watch that as we get closer to the day. We'll definitely get some snow accumulations as well. Even on Friday, we do have that general thunderstorm risk stretching from Eureka down through San Francisco as well. So isolated thunderstorms may. So we're definitely looking at. Let me see here. So definitely isolated lightning flashes may occur along the immediate coast of Northern California as multiple shortwave troughs with cool mid-level temperatures across Eastern Pacific and the West Coast. Definitely don't expect tornado activity from this at the time, but definitely more flooding is definitely going to occur here. So definitely going to have to be on the lookout for that. Let's see. I'm curious as to the actual snowfall accumulation that we're going to receive here. So we can actually skip this through Friday, and you can definitely see those snowfall totals in the Sierra Nevadas and the higher terrain of Washington, Oregon as well, definitely going up. Surprisingly, it looks like some of the snowfall totals here in the Pittsburgh area are definitely held down in this model. So that's definitely interesting. Looks like little to no snow in this area, so that's definitely good news. More snow up towards Cleveland, Toledo, just to the south, east of Toledo here. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And it definitely looks like it took the snow out of, mostly out of Alabama and Georgia. So we're definitely keeping our eye out on this, but definitely looks like it's keeping that bullseye here in Missouri between I-49 and I-44 here. So this would be near Bolivar and to the northeast of Stockton. So we'll definitely keep an eye out on that, guys. All right, everyone. Definitely appreciate you joining me for this video here. We're definitely going to have more videos and probably a live stream tomorrow for sure with the severe weather. Maybe later on tonight, depending on when the severe weather comes in. It looks like it will be coming in after midnight. Unfortunately, I do work at 4:30 a.m. tomorrow, so definitely have to watch out for that severe weather. I'll try to update while I'm at work as well. Definitely in the community tab, so definitely check that out, guys. I definitely try to post some of the information in there in the community tab. If I don't post information there, it will definitely be found on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So definitely check us out at Facebook at World Weather Authority, and on Twitter at World Weather, and on Instagram at W.W.A. Graham, guys. But definitely, I definitely want to get a storm chase in, definitely soon. Hopefully we can chase some of the snow and get you guys the local information here from the World Weather Authority studio. We definitely like to see the weather that's occurring in your neck of the woods, so definitely feel free to send us videos or tag us in videos on social media. You can also send them to our Gmail account, worldweatherauthority@gmail.com. So definitely, would definitely be interesting to see that. And yeah, it's definitely an interesting week for sure coming up here. We definitely have a lot of rain heading to the west coast. We have some snow developing in the higher terrain as well. And we do have some snow developing through Denver, Nebraska, Kansas, even Missouri, where the big bullseye is going to be. And then the big question is, how strong is this eastern coast system going to be? In terms of snowfall here, especially in the Pittsburgh area and up through the lakes as well, and even down into Alabama and Georgia where some snow could fall. So definitely be on the lookout for information, guys. And as always, definitely hit that subscribe button and enable notifications to ensure you do not miss any weather updates. Definitely hit that like button and share this information far and wide, guys. Definitely we want to get that information out there. All right, guys, always remember, never stop chasing.